You're watching the Hoof GP, and this cow has a seriously sore front left foot. It may not be obvious right now, but trust me, things are about to change. Today we're trimming on a farm that we attend every 2 weeks. This farm really likes to look after the cow's feet as well as they possibly can, so we do a lot of routine trimming. 99% of the cows that we treat here have no problems whatsoever, and that's because the farmer gets us in nice and regularly to make sure that his cow's feet are in tip-top condition. But as the way of the world would have it, problems do still occur, and this cow has a seriously big and actually pretty perfect ulcer underneath all of this overgrowth and loose horn. So let's be quiet and crack on with the job in hand. The disc on the grinder that I'm using is specifically designed for trimming cows' feet. They've been modified over years and years, and now they're pretty much perfect. We use them for the bulk of the work. It really takes a lot of the stress and strains and hard work out of hoof trimming. But more than that, it also means that the cows are in the crush for less time, which can only be a good thing. Having said all that, and as good as the grinder is, it's the knives that do the real work. And as you can see, they're beginning to uncover a serious problem. This is a sole ulcer, and it's one of the most common problems we see in cows' feet. But actually, this is a pretty perfect and actually quite beautiful sole ulcer. Now that might sound ridiculous, and I don't wish any bad things to happen whatsoever to these cows, but once we finish this trim, you'll see what I mean. It's formed perfectly, and it demonstrates exactly what a true sole ulcer is. So hopefully you can tell from what's already happened that we haven't cut into this cow's foot. We've removed the overburdening and loose horn tissue, and underneath there is a problem, a lesion, a sole ulcer that is bleeding. So all of that blood that you can see right now isn't from us cutting it, as it will become more and more obvious as the trim progresses. This is a problem that is bleeding underneath the detached hoof horn. On a cow's foot like this, it's extremely important that we remove every shred of detached hoof horn, but it's also extremely difficult to feel and know exactly where that detached horn comes to an end. It's an extremely fine line where the detached hoof horn meets the sound hoof horn and the corium, and on this occasion I go slightly too far. It's probably only 1/10 of a millimetre, but it's enough to draw blood, and I'm not happy about it. But we crack out the grinder and continue with the trim. This will be of little consequence to the cow, and it's much more important to make sure we've removed all of that loose and diseased hoof horn. We then clean up that outer claw, ready for a bovie block, before attacking the rest of this trim. I always use BoviBond to glue on the blocks, but sometimes I use different blocks for different reasons, and on this occasion we're using a biodegradable block. That's because this block will last around 8 weeks, and by then this ulcer should have fully healed. Remember earlier on when I strangely referred to the ulcer as being beautiful and perfectly formed? Well, just look at this. That is the ulcer there. It's perfectly round and perfectly formed. It's the corium, and that corium is being insulted, bruised and pushed down by the pedal bone which sits directly above it, causing this mess. But strangely, I find it fascinating how well formed this ulcer actually is. Peeling away the axial wall horn here is extremely difficult. This is a delicate area, but the hoof horn is very, very hard indeed. She's actually got a small lesion there, just on her white line as well, and as we remove the bulk of this material, we uncover it. This is a job well done, and I'm very, very happy with this trim. I can actually say that the next time we see this cow, she will be 100% fully healed. Make sure you subscribed so that you get to see that update.